God forgive me. I never.
Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna guide you through it. It's all good. And actually, we're live now. So, oh man. Well, good morning, Facebook. Welcome to I Am My Morning Coffee. We are 30 minutes late, and you know what? Me, as the owner, the CEO of I Am My Morning Coffee, I can take responsibility. It was my fault. I sincerely apologize. I hope that you all can forgive me. But you know what? We're not gonna let that one monkey stop no show. We're gonna move forward. That's right. And we are going to continue with our conversation this morning on fitness, on wellness, and on relationships. And I have Terry Gerald with me this morning, so I'm going to give y'all some time to come on in. So we're going to give them a few minutes to get on and join us on live. I know a lot of people probably was up watching those numbers last night with the election. A lot going on there, a whole lot going on there. So we'll give people a few minutes to come on in. I have not done I Am My Morning Coffee in about a month. I was pressing through the end of the school year, and I had some other things going on. But oh my God, I'm so thankful that I am here. I'm glad to be back. I miss this. I miss having these pivotal conversations, and so we'll give people some time to come on in, and we'll get started momentarily. All right.
Come on.
All right. Come on in this morning. How you feeling, Terry?
I feel great. Hey, anytime I'm alive, I'm good.
I know that's right. Anytime you breathing and you on this
I'm
side,
I'm
we all
good.
right. Good.
You?
Wonderful. I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
That's
So
right.
I'm gonna find a rock to climb under probably next week. So I'm gonna wrap up some things and then I'm gonna go find my rest.
Gotcha.
That's what I am going to do.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Let's see. All right. Here we go. We will get started momentarily. We're gonna give people about 120 more seconds. Come on in. I just had to adjust a setting.
Okay.
And then and then we'll give people time to come in. So last night I had the opportunity to actually work a campaign. My pastor is running, has won. Let me say that. I'm going to go ahead and speak that into existence. The Rockdale County sheriff race. And man, just hitting the street yesterday. And it was wonderful. I loved it. What I loved about it, though, is that there were a lot of people that were really getting discouraged because they were running into a lot of issues with voting. And we know in Georgia we deal with voter suppression. And one thing that really makes me upset is when you put people through the ringer, exercise a right that people with water hoses that fought through water hoses and dogs.
Right.
Get, you know what I mean? And so like how dare you, try to discourage us to exercise something that we already fought for. But
Right.
that's a whole nother issue and a whole nother conversation we'll be having. So, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So my name is Adelia Johnson. I am the host of I Am My Morning Coffee, and this is where God is our barista, praise and worship is our cream and sugar. And this morning, Mr. Terry Gerald is our morning coffee. So when I talk about praise and worship, we can worship God in various ways. And one of those ways is I like to worship God by informing people. Just sharing with people certain information, having critical and pivotal conversations about things that really affect us. I like talking about real things, real topics. And I think fitness and wellness and relationships, those are three things that I think people really like to talk about. Or even if they don't like talking about it, let's admit we need to talk about it, right?
Right.
Fitness and wellness are those things that are very, very important. Terry is my personal trainer. Okay, you always will be. All right, stuck with me. I started with Terry, I think it had to be like 2015. I know it was during my master's program. I started with Terry in 2015. Terry is the reason why I initially lost about 60 pounds. And he just started me on this journey of health and wellness. And what even when I fall off, what I appreciate about him is there are no judgments when I fall off, because he understands that life happens. And so I want to talk to you all this morning about life happening. in the midst of trying to be fit, in the midst of trying to be well, in the midst of trying to have positive relationships. So, well, Terry has just really been a gem to me. And whenever we have our sessions, it's not just fitness; it's wellness as well. We talk spiritual matters. We talk life. We talk relationships. So, is the workout itself is great, but it's also very therapeutic,
Right.
extremely therapeutic. And so, and so I thank you for what you bring to my life. You're very, very valuable to me. Like I said, I've fallen off, I get back on, I've fallen off, I get back on, but you're always right there because you understand life cycles, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give the floor to you, and I want you to just kind of tell us about yourself, tell us about what you do, and then we'll get into that conversation. Just let it kind of flow organically.
Gotcha. Name is Terry Gerald once again. Um, Personal trainer for TG Fitness. I am a fitness coach more than anything. Um, you know, my fitness journey. I play sports. When I was in high school, not beyond high school, but when I started my fitness journey in high school, I seen some guy, man, on the football team. I was like, golly, man, I want to be just like him or better, you know. And I started when I was 14, and I haven't stopped since. So, um,
Wow.
but to your point, and as in every walk of life, we do trip and fall. That's no different from fitness. That's no different from relationships and things like of that matter. But pertaining to fitness, and I've been through it as well. I'll be anybody be lying if they say that they haven't fallen down and stopped and or reach some type of hump or
Yeah.
whatever. But just like you say, the biggest thing with fitness is what you have to have amnesia um to your fall and focus on the next step. And I think a lot of people get discouraged with themselves when they do cheat or they miss or even if they fall off. um,
Right.
Biggest thing is that you have to get back started, and build that lifestyle. um, Fitness is much more than just having abs and beach body ready and things. you
Right. Right. Right.
know you have to be it's a discipline
Mm.
that you have to apply to your life.
That word.
And that discipline helps you with your everyday. That's why you see a lot of people, man, are just laser focused because they have goals and then they crush those goals and they just after that they just get addicted.
Yeah.
That addiction is great.
Right.
Because you hold yourself to a level of accountability where no one else can hold you.
Right.
You challenge yourself, like no one else can challenge you. Uh,
Hmm.
but that discipline applies, in your everyday life, whether it's work, it applies, whether it's in your relationships,
Yeah.
but most importantly for yourself. So, but yeah, so hey, you gotta love fitness, love yourself.
Yeah. You already talking good, and I want to talk about that lifestyle piece because
Mhm.
what's interesting is before I started working out with you, I want to talk about how like my convictions change.
Right.
And when you talk about discipline,
Hmm.
that if you've never been disciplined about something, it
Hmm.
is hard to kind of get in the mold of it. But what I appreciated about my journey is I always felt and knew that I had to get back on it.
Right.
And it was that part that was missing from it was that part that was missing when I first started my journey. And one of our viewers, Cynthia, I love her. She said, look at God, she needs this right now. And there
Yeah.
are people that that need this conversation because it's a very real conversation. And the truth of the matter is that people do fall off. And what I appreciate again about what you said is the discipline of it all and having the conviction to get back on it. Not the condemnation
Right.
of getting back on it, but
Right.
knowing that I now know better about certain things,
Right.
knowing that I've challenged myself.
Hmm.
and I conquered some things that I would have never done. Because the first 2 weeks that I worked out with you, you told me what you told me about my performance. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, no. but
Beast mode.
it gave, you said what?
I said beast mode.
Yeah, peace. He used to come down the stairs at 5 o'clock in the morning and used
Yeah.
to be like, what is this?
Yeah.
But because I challenged myself and
Yep.
because you challenged me,
Mm-hmm.
it made me better. So thank you. That was a good part about that discipline piece.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Gotta have that in
So
your.
you said I haven't what?
You gotta have discipline. I think that's part of the building block.
Yeah.
That's part of the building block. So
Yeah. So what would you say to somebody that has maybe started a wellness and a fitness journey and they've tried to be disciplined or they're having struggles with being disciplined? Like share some times where you may have, even as a personal trainer, became undisciplined. What did you do to kind of put yourself back in that mindset and in that mode?
well, I can't speak for everybody, but one thing about me is that I analyze myself every day. Every
Hmm.
day I analyze myself. I come
Yeah.
home, finding, and I analyze my day.
Hmm.
Analyze what I could have done differently, what I could
Yeah.
have, you know, and not to get off track like that with and mostly kids and with pretty much everything. But I
Right.
analyze myself, and then I'm like, man, what could have done better, and and sometimes those days are dark,
Yeah.
where I get stuck. But it's just a matter of like, what, when you come to a part, in your fitness journey, and you be like, man, you get stuck in the spirit of procrastination.
Hmm.
You have
Mm.
to make small attainable goals. I mean, as
Small
corny as
obtainable goals.
small attainable goals. And let's
Yeah.
say like, let's say, it's been plenty of time. I know a lot of people can attest to this. They're like, oh man, you know what? I'm gonna start my fast and I'm gonna get my vegetables and steaks and all this stuff.
Man guilty.
And, but those vegetables and fruits will rot in the refrigerator because yeah, straight up. Yes, you
Right. Yeah, you're right. And now you've wasted money.
yeah, you wasted money, and then now you're discouraged, and now you're going somewhere else in the cupboard and refrigerator.
Mm.
It's not aligned with your goals. Um, but I would say, what, don't set goals that's up here. Small steps. You know,
Right.
someone who's struggling with that, I would say, you know, start with, what, I'm not going to drink soda, for a
Mm.
week. See how that,
Mm. Yeah.
and then what, I got a real bad sweet tooth. You know what? I'm just gonna just lay off for that for the week. Building your discipline step by step. That's
Hmm.
important. As if you're struggling. Don't get me wrong. Some people be gung ho. They be like, you know what? You know, I'm going in. Head first in this, and they
Right.
and they attain their goals. But for those who are struggling, take a step back.
Yeah.
And just move in steps. And then that's what everything you do. Even
Hmm.
when it comes to like, exercising.
Yeah.
So what if you miss the gym? You know what I'm saying? You know,
Wow.
and
Wow.
the people busy. There are other routines you can do. You can exercise, be effective in 15 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
get that thing like that.
Right.
I've done that during the quarantine.
Yeah. Let me get this quick 15 minutes in right fast.
Oh man, I got my little bead went off. Hey, but it's good for you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And and you have to be able to take those steps. You got to be able
Yeah.
to take small steps. If you need to take those small steps, take your small steps, but just don't stop. You know,
Right.
just
Mm.
don't stop. Just don't give up on yourself. You know,
Yeah.
if you miss a day, you miss 2 days, you miss a week, you miss a month. You know what? God wakes you up every day. You know, be thankful that God wakes you up every day.
Ah, come on now, that part. That
That's not
part, right?
not a given.
Yeah,
So and the thing is that setting your mind, and I think that's the biggest thing as well,
yeah,
is putting it in your mind.
mm,
You know what? Today's gonna be a different day. But you get up like, my God, you're already setting the tone for yourself.
yeah,
You're tone for your psyche. Like, I just don't want to do nothing. So
right.
you're not, but
Wow.
once you tell yourself and you speak wording yourself that I'm gonna do it
Yeah,
and execute a plan, even if it's small. So that's my advice. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're on your own
yeah,
journey, and you ain't got no personal trainer, a lot of people ain't got it like that, but you know, um, I would say, just take one day at a time, make small goals, build yourself up, even
yeah,
if it's small exercises, build
mm,
yourself up, and I think from there, you building consistency and then you're challenging
yeah.
every day.
Yeah. I wanna share something because when you were talking about mindset and Renisha Howard, she actually agreed. She said mindset is everything.
Uh,
And it is. Um in 2018, when I
mm,
was in that five car wreck,
yeah,
and when I came back to you after that 5 car wreck,
mm,
that was really difficult. That was probably the hardest time that I had, was getting back on the ball, because everything hurt.
yeah,
And there were so many things that they were, kind of telling me to do, go to this doctor, take this medication or whatever. And you really talked me through that. And you showed me that it was the little steps that matters,
yeah,
because even if we couldn't focus physically, then you need to focus on your food. You need to
yeah,
focus on what you're eating, so you're
right,
not contributing to the problem.
right,
um and so in one of the hardest times, even with one of my friends that had hip surgery, we were able to assist her. And
hmm
so I just want people to understand that what you do is a ministry, really. And this is bigger, than just fitness and wellness, but this is tackling those habits and tackling those things that people sometimes allow to consume them,
hmm
um and keep them from getting back on track, and keep getting them focused. And like
right,
you said, when you're in a certain mindset, like after that accident, I felt fragile.
right,
And one of the things that you said to me was, you're stronger than you think you are.
hmm
Like, your body can take more than what you think. And
yeah,
part of me not even really wanting to move is I was scared that I don't know, that something would hurt or something would break, or something like that. And so I think it's important. I just want to note that it's important that whenever whoever is watching this, if they're looking for a personal trainer, I think that's an important thing to look for. You don't just need somebody, like you said, just gonna focus on abs and you getting cut or whatever. Hey, good morning, Liz. Liz just came in. But you don't want to just focus on that. You want to focus on the overall person. I think
right,
you're a fitness social worker. That's what I think. But and Vernisha said, recognize and identify the negative habits,
yep,
replace them slowly and surely.
that's
And
important.
she's right, because when I started changing my eating, I would eat, a little bit. I would eat healthy, and then if I fall off, my body will respond, and it
Right,
wouldn't take what I was given. Cynthia said, I have been trying to exercise, started by walking, ever since my pain management doctor told me that exercise stimulates anti-inflammatories in our bodies. So, and if you all have questions, you can send questions in as well. So let's talk about how this wellness, fitness ties into relationships. We can go all day on that. So tie all that together for us, and bring that on in.
well, fitness and wellness ties into it. It's not just from the physical, it fitness, wellness, it helps you like I said, my opinion, it helps you, become a better person.
Yeah.
Uh, you realize some things about yourself.
Right.
Um, and because you're focused on you.
Mm-hmm.
How's it tie in relationships? You know what? When people get in relationships, sometimes they forget about themselves. Um,
Say that again.
yeah, and you begin to focus on the other person, and sometimes the other person can focus on you.
Wow.
And you give, and you give, and you take from yourself. So when you start focusing on yourself, and again, it's just my opinion. Um, you start to realize some things. It's something your standards kind of kick up a little bit.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people. When they have significant others, that significant others are comfortable for them being a certain type of way.
Mm.
When they start to change, one two things gonna happen. They're gonna be like, oh man, they get happy, and encourage you,
Wow.
or they start to get a little jealous and you know start to accuse and start to be toxic. you know um
Wow.
and it's a lot pertaining to that. So
Yeah.
dealing,
Yeah.
dealing with relationships.
Look, I will say you sound like you know that personally. And nothing beats advice than experience.
Hey, what I would say, life is the best teacher.
It
Uh,
is. It
but yeah,
is.
when you tie all that together, it's either the person that you're with is gonna grow with you, or y'all gonna grow apart. Because telling you that, like the young lady said, the mindset is everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you change your mindset and just focus more on yourself and
Hmm.
take care of yourself, either they're gonna follow suit or they go the opposite direction.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
So what would you say to somebody that when that person decides to go the opposite direction? I mean, that's a real hard position to be in. And I hope it's okay if I press a little bit. You just let me know. But but I think you I think you've shared with me some valuable lessons
yeah,
as it pertains to like relationships and making sure that you're with the right one
right.
before
Hmm.
before you even get married, and making sure that that person is for you truly. And I think part of that is, I mean, you got to take that thing through trial and error
Yeah,
before you even get married. So there is a particular thing that did happen that, if it's
yeah,
okay with you, are you in a position to talk about? If you
yeah,
know where I'm going, you cool? Okay.
absolutely. Yeah,
There was the importance of knowing people and asking the right questions before you even get engaged fully in a
yeah.
relationship. What was it that you found out about your ex well into the relationship, and talk about when you found that out and what lessons did you learn from
Well, first, you know, I was married, been married, and now I'm divorced. And in my marriage, I think I was married 4 years of my marriage.
that?
4 years of my marriage. I've been married for 7.
Yeah.
And before that, we was together, I don't know, a few years before that.
Yeah.
Um, that fourth year is when I found out that, I realized that my wife didn't believe in Jesus. And she did not realize it. She told me.
Say that
Like,
again.
we had this conversation. You're like, oh, I don't believe in Jesus. I'm like, hey, I,
Look at the look you made.
yeah, I'm a Christian man, So, I didn't know how to respond to that. So I didn't,
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, we just kept on talking. And, from that point on, I knew her stance when it comes to, her belief.
Yeah.
And we weren't on the same page,
Right. Right.
throughout our relationship. It was toxic for both of us, we'll probably say. But because we weren't equally yoked. And I told you before, um, you know, I was a young man. I was in my teenage years when I came upon the passage about being equally yoked,
Right.
and and I think a lot of people focus more on marriage is the right thing and marriage is the covenant of God. It is,
Right.
covenant that you make with God. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and what happened to all why I got people going through all these divorces then, people,
Right. So something got to be going
yeah,
on.
people breaking covenants. but but the thing is that what a lot of people, don't realize or really understand. A lot of people have read that passage about being equally yoked. Um, that's it. Being equally yoked is being aligned. And being
Mm-hmm.
aligned is being aligned with through him.
There we go.
And you don't have the alignment with him. You just, that person ain't gonna always be sexy. That person
Right.
always gonna be funny. That person ain't always gonna be your best friend with
Mm.
some dark days. And within those dark days, you have to have a strong foundation. And your strong foundation is through Christ. And
Amen.
if you don't have that foundation, and you reach those dark days, it's going to be very tough. And some people grow apart through those dark days, you
Yeah.
know. And I that's when I realized, if it's beyond. You got to be able to pray together, even when you're mad. I know it sounds good, but I believe, and I see my mom, my parents do it, and
Yeah.
beyond. I've seen, my I've seen a lot of people outside my family do it.
Right.
Well, are quiet. They don't have their business on mainstream, or even when you see them together, you know it's something a little different, but
Right.
but
Right. Right.
but what they stick through it, and they stick through it through a strong foundation. And
Mm.
that's when I realized, and I really really understood why was it important to be equally yoked. Um, you know, Attraction is one thing.
Yeah.
Having fun, is one thing. But like you said, before you even take that step, this person makes me feel good about myself, and I've never had this person before. You never treated me like this before. Because a lot of times, what happens during those dating slash interview sessions,
Ah,
while you telling people, oh, I've been through this, been through that, don't people taking mental notes. And the thing
wow.
is, they're taking those mental notes, and a lot of times, they're like, you know what, I'm gonna focus on not being this person that she has, or that the person that she's experienced. I'm gonna work on being somebody else, and then later on down the line, they're gonna reveal themselves. You know,
Wow.
so that's another thing you have to keep an eye on. So that's why, like you said, Adelia, you have to be able to, when you go on these dates.
Yeah.
Honestly, you gotta see what the person, mental is, intentions, you know,
Right.
and
Mm.
and go from there. Let's say if you feel like you can grow with this person and the person is genuine,
Yeah.
by all means, but understand, you know, being alignment is very important, and being equally yoked, that's where it is to do strong alignment, with God.
Wow. Thank you so much for saying that. Um,
Truth.
you dropped something on me this morning that I really, and you would think you get it after a certain time, right? But it's different. But sometimes certain things hit different when you're hearing it from a male that number one just cares and don't want anything from you.
Yeah.
Um, wisdom and advice comes differently from somebody like that. And
Yeah.
so, as you were talking, as you said that, I think there are certain things that we should be careful about what we share.
Yeah.
Since you said that,
Mm-hmm.
you don't jump in sharing everything.
Nope.
If anything, let them do a lot of the talking,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're able to make a solid decision on where their head is. Like I was sharing with a friend of mine. It was this guy, and I know me and you we had our conversation about me
Yeah.
already. But
Yes.
but what drove me up the wall was the conversation was so shallow. And I would ask certain questions, and I think I read it too. It was just kind of, it was so general. It was like, okay, we are in month 2, okay,
Ooh,
and
yeah.
the only thing when I read back through these text messages and review these phone calls, I barely know. I don't know your morals. I
Right.
don't know your values.
Right.
I don't know where you stand on certain topics because your answer is so general. And to me, what that said to me, and I want you to tell me if I'm right or wrong, this is what I interpret it as. Because as you were talking, I just got this revelation. I interpret it as you don't want to know me on that level because
You.
your head may be somewhere else because we've had 2 months to engage, right?
Ooh.
I mean, do I have to coach you into how to engage with someone that you're truly interested in now
Well, I'm
and
gonna
that
say
you want to develop a deeper relationship
that's
with?
the key point. Now, there you go. Now, the thing is that I'm telling you, you truly interested in somebody, man. You know, you'll have a man that go hard for you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, or woman. You know, but you know, in your situation is, you know, the man, if a man truly wants to be with you, he will show he will show you. And you know, it's kind of, you know, I ain't gonna throw my brothers on the bus like that, but you know, I could just speak for me, you know, and my experience. um you know, I know how I am, you know, with a woman. And I've been, through my life, I've been through women, been with women. You know, it's like I'm very general, like you said. You know, it was just like,
Yes.
my intentions were something else. Um, but you know, when I really, really, wanted to be with somebody, they knew. Is beyond the flowers and dinner and just emptying out my checking account. Just to prove to you that I want to be with you. It's a small,
Right.
that was exercising, even just spending time, hey, what you need, just, I'm there. I'll try to be there as much as I can for you. I'm that shoulder, that you cry on, and, I'm that ear that's listening. The small things are important, you know, and especially, when it comes to, building that relationship. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you have somebody who's just, like I said, I don't know. That's not specifically towards your guy,
Right.
but
Not my guy anymore.
oh,
Never was.
I'm sorry,
You
this
didn't even
guy.
make it past it. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. I'm done talking to you, sir. I ain't gonna waste no more time. But go ahead.
So,
You don't
don't
belong
get
to me.
oh boy, but like I said, um, it's always the small things, that's very important, and then stuff like that helps build the foundation in relationships. Um, Stuff like that, builds a relationship. Not only the infatuation part, but also, it's like my best friend. I talk to this person and never gets old. Y'all just, you know, I've seen people like that. I'm like that.
Yes.
Um, right now, but like I said, you have to have conversation. And even sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes you be in relationships, or you be dating someone. Sometimes you ain't got nothing to talk about,
Right.
which is fine. But as far as like showing the person that you want to be with, a man showing a woman he will be with her, those small things, he'll pick up on and he'll attack them, and and she'll notice. So anyway, that's my take on that. Because I'm telling you, yeah, people show who they are.
Yeah.
And you'll see in that movement, like if I'm doing something with somebody, a woman going to see if I'm doing something, to get in her pants, or versus, if I'm trying to be with her, you
Yeah.
know, and me doing things and not, being like, well, so I did this for you, we ready to have a
Mhm.
Netflix night? Nah,
That part.
no Netflix today. And if he gets mad, you know what's up.
Right. Right. We got Liz laughing over there.
My sister, you understand?
Oh man. And Cynthia said, it depends on where the person is in their life. Sometimes they might not be looking for a committed relationship. And
Mhm.
I think that's good. And I think that's important. But
Yeah,
part of that is you being honest about what it is that you want, or what you don't want,
right.
or what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think men and women sometimes they're afraid to say what they want for the sake of running somebody off. No, you have to be firm about what you want, even if you don't necessarily speak it out loud.
Hmm.
You know in your heart what you want. So if that other person expresses, and we'll wrap this up because I already infringed on your time enough.
It's okay.
But even when you're engaging with someone, they'll tell you what they want. They'll tell you what they're looking for if you listen, right? So if you find out that those things don't align, I think sometimes we think we can either force it on them, or we think that, oh, if they see how great I am, because I've been guilty of that in the past.
Yeah.
If they see how great I am, if they see, how, but then that part, people can't just see how great you are. They have to see you when you're mad. They have to
Hmm.
see you when you're upset. To what extent do you get angry? Do you get
Right.
angry to the point where God said you can get angry enough, and murder can get in your heart?
Hmm.
So to what extent do you get angry? To what extent do you get sad? I mean, to what levels, are your emotions? Are they regulated? Are they not regulated? And you do have to ask the question: Are there any mental illness diagnosis? Are there any chronic health issues? And I know that these are questions that seem as though, I don't really want to ask somebody that question, but you have to ask yourself honestly. If you come across somebody that you love being with them or whatever, and they have sickle cell, that's a whole nother lifestyle. It's
Yeah.
being real. If you run
Hmm.
across somebody that may be schizophrenic, that's a
Hmm.
whole nother lifestyle, right? So
Right.
so so when you talk about really being with somebody, you really have to assess. You're really assessing whether or not, and this. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that you can't handle that. But I think it's
Right.
being honest with yourself and saying that you
Yep.
can't handle that.
Right. And that's okay. It's okay. And that's a very strong point. Um, you know, you have to be able to know these things, and like you said, ask those questions. One of the person is bipolar. And you didn't have those conversations.
Hmm.
With that, or you gotta say this, that, no, and the person just start flipping like and you're like who is this bug? So
Right, right.
and that's a people ignore that. It's like I said, it's beyond the infatuation stage. Those are real issues. It's not them being crazy, it's them having issues. And it's okay if you can't deal with it. Move forward. You don't have to date the person because you're just physically attracted to that person.
Hmm.
Like I said, if someone wants to be with you, they'll help you through that. Like
Right.
my brother's wife has sickle cell. And he's with her every step of the way. He loves her. And
Hmm.
like I said, if that person ain't for you, just don't kill his time. But
Yeah.
you have to be able to talk about these things.
Uh-oh. There. Oh, hold on. You say something.
Say something.
Okay, you're back. We thought we lost you for a moment. We thought we lost you. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, but that's right, Adelia. You have to ask those questions, and like you said, you can choose whether you can deal with it or not. It's not a popular answer, because I always feel it's someone for everybody. It's a matter of you being patient and that person, y'all find each other.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So I'm going to allow you some closing remarks. What would you like for the people to know about health, fitness, wellness, eating, relationships, whatever it is? What do you want people to know that maybe starting their journey, restarting their journey for the 8th time, or just getting started? What do you want people to know about fitness, wellness, and relationships?
Um, with it all, me, me personally, I believe in a journey. I believe in life's journey. You know, um, having fitness, being fit, your health, dealing with relationships. All those are steps, and everything, even your relationship with God, everything is in steps. You're not just because you get baptized, you're not gonna, just be this holy being walking the earth your entire life. You're gonna, meet obstacles. The same thing, with fitness and with your health and with relationships, is that you will those obstacles. And the thing is that when you reach those obstacles, is how you react to those obstacles. You
Mm,
know, and even if you feel like you quit, you know, you know, the Bible, like I said, it's I can't tell you where it is in the Bible, but
but it's there.
but hey, like I say, it's in my heart. You can
That's right.
fall 7 times,
That's right.
fall 7 times, but you're allowed to get back up again. Once you have the opportunity to get back up, you got to keep going. And that's it with anything that you do. You have to keep going, steps. In your mind is small steps. A lot of us, look at the big picture. We look at the white picket fence. We look at the big house, or we just look at the family part of it. We look at us looking good in swimsuits and outfits, and we envision ourselves, eating better and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's in your mind. Putting that to action. Small steps is very important. So, I'm real a big advocate of that. And taking
Yeah.
one at a time. You know what I'm saying? So, my advice to whoever's listening is everything that you do, you know, um, you know, take those steps. Make small goals, attainable goals. Make small attainable goals. Even with your relationships, sometimes people relationships dried out, you know, and they done all the pretty much the honeymoon is over, you know, but get with your partner or get with yourself, be like, hey, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna commit myself to. We're gonna do date night once a week. We're gonna do, have and whatever y'all do, just come up with something to help build it and help strengthen it. Even as y'all pray together. You know what? We're gonna pray together before we go to bed. First thing wake up, we're gonna, give thanks to God. You know, um, small things, and you'll be surprised, what the outcome is. So don't ever quit on yourself. Don't ever quit on yourself. Don't ever quit on yourself. And whatever life that walk of life that you're at right now, or situation you're at right now.
Yeah.
So God gives us um, I'm gonna say permission, but God gives us the ability, or I don't want to say the ability, but
Free will.
he wakes us up every day for another opportunity.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He wakes up for another opportunity, and that's a blessing within itself. And we got to take
Okay.
advantage. Because we never know we're gonna take our last breath, and when we look back on our lives and see what we accomplished, and procrastination is the bulk of our life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't like to be long winded. Small steps, take one step at a time, and keep pushing.
That's right. No, you're not long-winded. What you're giving is wisdom. And these are things that people need to hear. I think, and this will be my last statement, but because, like I said, we could go because the
Yeah.
conversation is so rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is how people change is through conversation.
Yeah.
Because they hear something, they something speaks to their spirit, something resonates with them. They take it and they hold it in their heart. And that's the same way that I think that we should do the word of God. That's the same way that I feel like we should do sound advice. God says
Right.
that there's safety in a multitude of counselors. I cannot tell you what scripture, but I know it's in there because like we talked about, when that word is written on your heart, you
That's
know it,
right.
right?
That's right.
And so there is safety in a multitude of counselors. So and I'm blessed because, in previous experiences that was the issue. I didn't have anybody.
Right.
I think that's the issue, with a lot of people. You don't have any accountability. You don't have anybody, with you on the journey.
Right.
I heard Dr. Matthew Stevenson, he's a pastor of all nations. He said one time that when people come to him about when people come to him about like sleeping around the night before, he said
Mm.
that was a confession.
Yeah.
That wasn't accountability. He said you done did it. He said, if you want to do a confession, you go down to the Catholic Church, right? He said, accountability is you calling me before you do it, saying, hey, listen, I'm having these urges. I want to go to this girl house. If you don't do something right now, I'm going to be her at our house in 30 minutes. He said, that's accountability because you
Yeah.
don't want to engage in that type of activity, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
whatever the activity is like having
True.
an accountability partner. And,
Hmm.
and look, I'm about to go smash this food. I know I'm on this fast. I need you
Yeah.
to pray for me right now. Come get me something. Until you work through that moment.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is, it's a moment and it will pass. But you
Right.
have to get through the urge. You have to get through that moment. And God said that He always create a way of escape. So even
Yep.
if when you commit to your goals, and I'll let this be the lasting sounding comment, but I think sometimes when we don't allow God into our little goals because we think God
Right.
is so big, and He is, that,
Yeah.
oh, He couldn't possibly be interested in this little goal of mine. The devil is a lie.
Hmm. Straight up lie.
Involve Him in every part and intricate part of your world and your day.
Yep.
There have been, and just most recently, and then I want you to share with me something small that you decided to let God in, and then we'll close for real. Like a preacher, you got like 7 closes. But one of the small things was my eating habits. Okay, God, I really need you to give me strength. I need you to give me discipline and a way out when I'm feeling the pressure of wanting to really engage in gluttonous behavior. Let's be real, because most of the times we're not even really hungry.
Right.
We just see it in front of us and we're like, oh, I want it.
Hmm.
And He has been helping me with that. And but part of that, is being honest. So what's a small goal that you felt like, I guess this is small, but you asked God and you invited God in, and God really helped you?
Execution. You know. A lot for me. I deal with procrastination. A lot, and you know, but I also have big goals, and God wants me to attain those goals because
That's right.
something for me. You know, and a lot of times I'm like, man, I got this going on. I got this, 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 I got this. And then, like I said, may not be a popular answer, but, execution is very important. Execution
Mm,
ties into a lot of things. It ties into things dealing with your job, dealing with, yourself, dealing with your children, dealing with, relationships. You have to be able to execute and can't be like, whatever. Oh, I'll get to it. Gonna keep blowing stuff up.
right.
You want to get things, accomplished. You have to be able to execute. Um,
Yes.
not only, it sounds good to make a plan. I used to make all kind of plans, write stuff down. I've talked to my brother.
Mhm.
He was like, "Oh man, you gotta write stuff down. You gotta write stuff down." And, I'm like, "Okay, now I'm writing stuff down." I see it. I'm like, "Whoo, all right." Now I gotta. Whew, okay, all right, okay, all right. And then the next day, you have this drawn out plan, and you try to execute it. And the next thing you know, it's like you got barrels thrown your way. You kind of alluded barrels. Sometimes you waste time and keep putting stuff off.
Yeah.
Execution. If I make a commitment to myself, whether it's eating plan or whether it's fitness goals, where I here lately, it's been fitness goals.
Yeah.
That execution is important. What does that look like? Getting up in the morning, doing it. That's execution. Um,
Right.
so for me, it's is be able to manage time management, execution. But that goes a long way. And instead of waiting 5 years down the line to where I'm like, okay, I'm finally get it, you know
Yeah.
getting the stuff done and accomplished and executing the plan is very important.
All right. Well, thank you so very much. I agree with you. Execution is everything. You just got to get started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for tuning in to I Am My Morning Coffee. Thank you, Terry, Gerald, so much for for being with us. We greatly appreciate it. Again, I apologize. I'll apologize a million times until the cows come home. But again, I'm sorry. I take people's time very seriously. I value the access and the time that I have to people. So tell people where they can find you. I have it on the screen. Just let people know where they can find you if they want to contact you for any type of personal fitness or anything like that.
Yeah, you can contact me on the TL Gerald 44 on IG, or you can shoot me an email at tgfitness@gmail.com, or hit me up on Facebook under under Terry Gerald. So hit me up. We can definitely chit chat. If you want to do online sessions, one-on-one sessions, definitely let me know.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much again, y'all, for tuning in to I Am My Morning Coffee, where God is our barista, praise and worship is our cream and sugar. And Terry Gerald, you have been our morning coffee. So
Thanks.
take care of yourself. Mwah. We'll talk to you all later.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.